the members on the minority have refused to continue with the vetting. The Honorable Minta Kando, the nominee for Health, is seated in the nominees chair and was waiting to be sworn in for his vetting, and then hell broke here at the appointments committee rooms 1 and 2 here in Parliament, because the majority members refused to go ahead with the vetting on the committee, pulling and pushing the tables over here. It's all chaos here in the House. It's all chaos. We got indication that there was agreement to do 4 vettings today. The Honorable Minister Designate for Labor, Jobs and Employment, Abdul Rashid Hassan Pelpo, the Ibrahim Mutala Mohammed, the Member of Parliament for Tamale Central, the Minister Designate for Environment, Science and Technology, Samuel Nate George, and then Kofi Adams. So that was the indication we got in the morning, that was the agreement between the majority and minority members to go on and do the vetting for those minister designates.
So this was Thursday night, and of course this led to the Speaker suspending 4 members of Parliament and also making subsequent other orders, including setting up a committee to investigate all that we saw. I saw you sitting down quietly. You were just, was it like you were tired, you were angry? You didn't, because everybody was trying to separate people, you were just sitting down. Why?
Why am I expected by Ghanaians to take part in the fight?
No, but they are fighting in your committee. You want to separate them?
Well, I don't see the need of the fight in the first place, let alone talking about separation.
So you're just watching them?
Because you see, whatever happened, I apologize the following day to the Ghanaians, but it was needless. It was uncalled for. This is not the first time that Parliament will be vetting nominees deep into the night. Sometimes they close after 12 o'clock, after 1 o'clock. We have experienced that in this particular country. So why are we creating the impression as if that Thursday was the day that we are going to vet nominees beyond 8 o'clock? So it was clearly uncalled for. And I'm telling you that, you see, we didn't sit on Wednesday. So there was a backlog. And it was agreed that part of the backlog should be added to that of Thursday, so that the leftover will start with them, and then we continue. So the agreement was that we are going to vet about 6 people. So I don't know why the 6th person coming to sit down and they say we will not do it, we won't do it, I'm under pressure, we will not do it. Pressure from where?
Who said that?
Well, I have been advised to resist from mentioning names. So I will hold it to my chest, because I'm likely to be one of those who will be appearing before the committee to conduct the investigation. So I should not be giving my evidence before the invitation by the committee to give evidence before them.
But do you take responsibility for what happened, because you are the chair of the committee and this happened under your watch, and therefore this is your committee?
Well, as a leader, sometimes you take responsibility of things that you are not the cause. That is a hallmark of a leadership. And from our culture, you know, to render an apology as a leader on behalf of unfortunate incident on part of some of the people that you lead is not anything difficult for us. So it takes a head of family to even apologize on behalf of a wrongdoing on part of a family member for which he is nowhere near the incidents.
So who do you blame for what happened on Thursday?
I'm not to apportion blame after the committee has concluded its investigation. Whoever should take the blame responsibility. I believe Ghanaians will get.
Is it fair for the chair of the committee to appear before, you are the first deputy speaker of parliament,
yes,
to appear before a committee made up of people, some of whom you are senior to in parliament?
Well, it doesn't matter. Giving evidence before a committee is what you've seen, what you know of. That is what you give evidence on. So it doesn't matter whether you are a senior to the person or a junior to the person. When the need arose, you appear before them. And
some people think the speaker's action was either premature in terms of the suspension of these 4, or at least unlawful.
See, people are not getting it right. As a private legal practitioner, if I reduce it into a courtroom practice, we have 2 types of those incidents. The one that happened outside of the court, where you need to lead evidence to establish it. But the one within the court, you need no evidence to take decision as a judge. That is why we have contempt ex facial query and contempt in facial query if it were to be in court. But this is a contempt in facial parliamentary.
So was the speaker acting as a judge in this matter?
Yes, in matters of this nature, where you have to take a decision in one way or the other, you are playing the role of a judge.
Could it not be your decision, because this was happening under you? I thought you have the power as chair of the committee.
I have the opportunity
in the middle of the melee to sanction people.
I have the opportunity to explain it, that the Speaker of Parliament is the chair. So if Parliament is reduced to a committee level, and you happen to be acting as the chair of the committee, you are acting instead of the Speaker. So whatever decision that you can take in that particular capacity, Speaker can equally take those decisions.
But so my point is that if you are taking those decisions, if you had made a pronouncement or said, for example, that the marshal should dismiss some of the people who were causing let me ask the question,
yes,
causing the initial confusion, it may not have gotten to the Speaker if you had taken action to say, look, we are coming to vet the 6th person, the minority leader is not cooperating, some of his people are putting the seats on the table. You could have taken an action to say, marshal, drive them out, but you didn't do that.
Well, if you recall, I shouted and I called marshal, and I turned around. I didn't see the marshal around. So there was nothing I could do at that particular point but to allow whatever happening should happen. We close the proceedings for that day. And Speaker, having seen all that has happened, the following day has taken a decision that this is what is going to happen. So there can be a double decision in that regard.
The Speaker's statements on 29 January on the floor took issue with the committee your committee. He was not happy with the way rules were not being followed and generally the conduct of the committee. Is it fair to say the Speaker was unhappy with you?
That very day, I would say no.
You mean the 29th?
Yes, I would say no. Speaker's comment was in relation to what happened when we invited Vomawo to appear before us.
Really?
Yes, but after I have gone to explain why I acted that way, I believe strongly that puts matters to rest.
As in, he was unhappy that there was disagreement about how you treated Vomawo and his lawyer?
No.
Or what?
Whatever happened is that we were going there to refer Vomawo strictly to Privileges Committee. However, I have received a call as a chairman of the committee from one of the lawyers of Vomawo saying that the invitation makes reference to 2 posts. One that says that NDC members demand money, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
The client, Vomawo, was not responsible for it. But the one that says monies that are being paid to appointment committee members, will they also be subjected to oral?
Yeah.
That one. he is responsible for it. But if the committee is not happy about that particular comment, they are coming with the client to come and render an apology. Well, I tried finding out from them where the other one that they are denying knowledge was coming from. They say it was coming from a platform known as MPP Project Bureau. So, therefore, you cannot hold him technically responsible for those comments. And once he's ready to render apology to the very committee that he has offended, why refer him to privileges?
I quote the speaker here. It says, even members themselves don't take the appointments committee seriously. I think we need to. But before we ask for our pound of flesh, respect is earned. Further, please, appointments committee, we have crafted rules on how the appointments committee should conduct the business of public hearings. That is the term used, public hearings of nominees of the president. I'm not too sure there's a reference to those rules in what I am witnessing myself. This is very damning. It's like you're supposed to hold public hearings. He doesn't think the members are acting as if they even understand the work they are supposed to do.
Well, you see, what happened is that public hearing.
Which one?
The one that happened on Thursday.
No, this was 29th January.
Public hearing.
No, this is 29th January I'm referring
to. Yes.
So he's even complaining about your work before
If you look at the issue relating to formal,
yeah,
it's like my friends from the opposing side had a premeditated mind. Because for me, once a decision is taken to render apology for what he was responsible, we only have to take the apology. But democratic dispensation, I can't take that particular decision and say that was all. So I open up to take one comment from both sides.
Yeah.
The comment should not be a way of trying to cross-examine the person, because assuming I have offended you and I appear before you to say that what I have done is not good, so I'm here to apologize to you. Do you go into the merit of the matter? Do you really go into the merit of the matter?
So you think that was that was what the speaker was complaining about?
Yes.
I see.
You don't go into the merit of the matter. Do you understand? And one, it's unfortunate if a lawyer makes reference to his notes in order to defend a client. Why would you ask that the lawyer should table that communication?
Did you even need to stop the vetting to hear this matter of from our members, because people are written about everywhere. Members
are of the view that what is it that every parliamentary cycle, when appointment committees are put in place, the committee is tagged with a corruption.
So you agree with them to stop everything for the whole of Wednesday to hear Vemawa for 45 minutes?
The integrity of the members of parliament were at stake. So that integrity of the members of parliament must be cleared.
But do you have to stop the vetting to do that? Do you have to stop, if the vetting is that serious, do you have to stop the vetting for a whole day to establish in 1 hour whether, I mean, seriously?
Well, you see, when you ask somebody to appear before you and provide evidence to substantiate an issue, you can predict the length of time that the person will take to substantiate the
Was
issue.
it not just grandstanding? Because you yourself have said he should appear
assuming he has not come before the committee
privileges committee.
Assuming he has not come to say that I want to render apology, I have A, B, C, D reasons that has informed my comment. Then the matter would have been referred to privileges.
So what if tomorrow morning somebody writes again about the committee? Are you going to stop?
We'll still deal with that particular issue.
In the same manner?
Well, as a committee, we'll have to take a decision as to the manner.
In retrospect, was it a good use of time?
Which we should
because it was that Wednesday problem that led to the Thursday package.
Yes, I agree.
So did the committee exercise good judgment? Because you looked angry, and it means that you were reacting emotionally.
Because your integrity has not been affected, you can sit out there and judge the committee as to whether they have. People
insult me every day. I don't stop my program to deal with it.
No, this one is a different thing altogether.
Is it?
You know, corruption is a crime.
But he who alleges must prove.
Yes.
And you are not a court.
So if he who alleges must prove.
So do you stop your work because somebody alleged?
But you see,
people allege every day. People, even in your constituency, don't people insult you?
Let me tell
you stop your work as MP to go and deal with them?
Let me tell you, this is not a constituency insult. In fact, the way we even treat MPs in this country is not the best. We feel because I have voted for you, I can say anything against you and get away with it. It's not in developed countries like that. It is not in a developed country.
So how did the hearing change the perception?
Well, if I have said something against you, and I'm given the opportunity to substantiate it, and I say I don't have the basis for making that statement, therefore I'm here to apologize.
He actually said the second statement was not even his statement.
Yes, he said it was not his statement.
But why couldn't people establish whether he made the statement before you even invited him? Because the second statement was more serious. I actually think you invited him because of the second statement.
Yes.
Because the first statement wasn't that wild.
Both statements. Now, having looked at that particular statement, how will you be able to establish that it's not coming from him when his picture is there, holding a microphone talking with my picture?
But people do
and
fake news every day.
Yes, once it is a fake news, you just said that he who alleges must attempt to prove.
Yeah.
So the presumption is that this statement is emanating from him until he comes to say that this one is fake news. And this is what I have done to show that it is